So tonight, what we want to talk about, the header of this class or this webinar, is how for you to make a net $130,000 a year and buy no new equipment. And actually, it's going to be more than that if you follow my program. But I'm going to show you tonight how, if you just add this one program to your patient base, I'm going to just show you the numbers, and you just decide for yourself whether this is worth your time, energy, and money coming to my seminars to learn how to do this. And again, I get accolades from my patients almost every day about me changing their life, and I always tell them, it's like, well, I couldn't have done it without you. And so it's the same situation with all the doctors that I coach in the United States, getting accolades from, the life-changing results that they've gotten with their patients. Their income has gone up, and usually the income going up is commensurate with your skill set, typically. And so we train you a new skill set, and your income should go up because now you're serving patients at a higher level than you were before. And as Zig Ziglar once said, you can have anything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want. And one of the things that I do more than anything else is I focus on Andy Barlow. And I don't mean that from an arrogant or pompous standpoint. What I mean by that is when I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to study neurology, metabolic care, and communication, the reason I'm doing that is to make sure that I have me at 100%. Because see, if you're watching this video tonight and you don't come to my seminars, I mean, I want to help you, but I don't really care, because I'm not focusing on you, I'm focusing on me. And I want to help you, but see, I can't base my whole life hoping that you're going to make the right decision. So what I do, and I learned this from John Maxwell and Dave Ramsey, is you focus on and spend time and money on things that you can control. And I can control me and my thought processes and my communication skills. And so, again, I'm going to go over with you tonight just one simple thing that you can do that could financially make a huge difference in your life. And then you have to decide, again, if you want to take the next step and actually learn this. So how do we actually do this, make this kind of money? And it's not that difficult. So one of the things that you need to do from this day forth is you need to recommend this program that I'm about to go over with you. And this is my 10-week detox program. And on this 10-week detox program, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on detoxing the body. We're going to detox the body, the gut. 70% of your immune system's in the gut. And then we want to get the gut cleaned out because we want, just think of it like this. You've got 69 million neurons in your spinal cord, and you've got 600 million neurons in your freaking enteric nervous system. So you 69 million versus 600 million. So you got 10 times more neurons and nerves in your enteric nervous system than you do in your spine. And yet as chiropractors, we focus on the spine, which I mean, that's what we're trying to do. But the point is whenever you address the enteric nervous system with the spine and the brain, you actually get a stratospheric type of results with patients. So let's go through this. So this is our 10-week detox program. All right. Now, the way I explain this to patient, the 10-week detox, what we're going to do, Mr. Patient, is this is going to help our brain function. When I started you up, I know you came in with knees and you were having some balance disorders, but I asked you about focus. I asked you, let me do this with my finger because for some reason this is just not working out. I asked you about focus, attention, and concentration. And I asked you about anxiety. I asked you about depression. And I asked you about insomnia. And remind me this is a rhetorical question because I already know the answer, but I've got to get them to explain what's going on. Because again, you have to realize that, see, most healthcare professionals don't know this, and that is 80% of selling is actually psychological. Okay. So see, when I ask somebody a question I already know the answer to, that's a rhetorical question. But the point is, I'm asking it to get them to give me the answer again. So brain, when our brain starts to malfunction, we have focus, attention, concentration, anxiety, depression, and insomnia. And I go, which one of those do you have? And then whichever one they have, I'm going to mark through this. And I remind them that the more we mark off, the worse your brain function is. Now, we're also going to be dealing with the body because this 10-week detox program is going to decrease inflammation. And anytime we decrease inflammation, we're going to improve our body's function. And inflammation, the way I explain it to a patient, I would say, let's just say that your pain level would be a 4. And with this inflammation, what it's doing is it's the volume control knob, and it actually is turning it up to what you said was an 8. So just by decreasing inflammation, we can actually decrease the pain level. And then with our gut, 70% of your immune system is in the gut. Some research says 80, but I go with 70. Either one won't be wrong. Okay. And then see, to detox all of this, you've got over 600 million neurons in your gut. And see, there's a connection between the gut and the brain, and you actually have to fix both of these to optimize your recovery. So that's our 10-week detox that we would need to do. Now, also tell a patient to optimize your recovery, we're going to need to know about if you have a gluten sensitivity problem. So we're going to do an enterolab test. And this is panel A2. I don't tell them A2, there's a lot of panels on there, but the one you will need to order is A2. And this is going to test for gluten gene. This is going to test for celiac gene. And this is going to test for malabsorption. It's going to test for more things, but like gluten, not gluten, but I'm sorry, casein, milk, eggs, and soy. But I'm letting you know right now, this is why hiring me as a consultant is so beneficial, is because I can tell you from the 15 years of me doing this right here, I've had 3 patients, 3, count them, 1, 2, 3, 3 people, okay, that came into the clinic that didn't have a gluten gene or a celiac gene. They all come in malnourished. If you were seeing a patient right now, okay, all of your patients, every patient that's coming into your clinic with chronic health problems, I cannot remember one person that I've done this test on that wasn't malnourished, okay, because I see a lot of, I only market to chronically ill people, but you look at how the gut functions, and then you get this gut dysfunction, you get slowing down of your gut function. It's called gut motility. Moving of the gut motility. And then you get dysbiosis, you get bloating, distension, constipation, gas, and see, all of this leads to malabsorption issues. And see, the last 2 weeks that I've been talking, I've talked about Alzheimer's and dementia and Parkinson's. And one of the causes of that, one of the many causes, there's multiple, remember it's a multivariant problem, is not being able to digest food like micronutrients. So being malnourished is going to have a major player with you getting healed. Now, I'm going to share this with you. This is like a gold freaking nugget right here. Okay, gold nugget. And that is, if you're doing stimulation to a patient, let's just say that, for example, let's say they come in with neuropathy and you're only doing stimulation, the first thing I would say is shame on you and quit doing that. All right. I'm not saying you're not helping some people, but when you charge what I charge, you better be helping everybody or you don't accept these people for care. All right. So if you're just doing stimulation on a patient and they're not getting better by doing the stimulation, that means that there's some type of underlying autoimmune disorder, underlying metabolic disorder, or both. So let me say that again. If you're doing, let's say somebody just comes in with neuropathy, I'm just going to use that as an example, and you do the Rebuilder, which is a phenomenal type of stimulation you can do for peripheral neuropathy, or you use the Hakamed. I actually use both of those. And then you use a laser therapy. But you're doing that, and 8 weeks later, you're doing this freaking crazy ass protocol because you don't understand neuropathy. You couldn't draw the brachial plexus if somebody had a gun to your head. You don't know anything about glucose except if it's 126, it's too high. You hadn't tested anybody for gluten sensitivity. And see, the number one cause of peripheral neuropathy or idiopathic peripheral neuropathy is gluten sensitivity. So see, you're a consultant, nobody taught you that. So they just taught you program, and that you get into a niche and you go out and do some talks and you get these neuropathy patients in. But then what happens when you charge, $10,000, $12,000, $18,000, $26,000, and you don't help these people because you're on a protocol. And they, so you've got to know more, number one, than just a protocol. And then if you do stimulation on a patient and they don't get better, then there's some kind of, again, metabolic, autoimmune disorder, or both that's going on. Okay. So, and I think this is why with chiropractic, up until we got all this hybridized wheat and all these antibiotics, and then we got processed food and fast food. You look at B.J. Palmer back in the day, all he had to do was stimulate patients. You didn't have to detox people. I mean, these people are a putrid, toxic waste dump. And we're in here trying to stimulate them like we did, people, chiropractors did back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, trying to get these miracles, and they're just not happening because these people are metabolically damaged, severely metabolically damaged. So what we would need to do is do this 10-week detox. And then we're going to do the enterolab test, which is going to test for gluten gene, celiac gene, and malabsorption issue. And I'm just telling you that in 15 years, I've only had 3 people that came in that didn't have the gluten gene, celiac gene. So the way it works is you can have 0 gluten genes, which I've had only 3 people. You can have 1 gene. You can have 2 gluten genes, or worst case scenario, 1 gluten and 1 celiac. That's the worst case scenario, okay, that you can have. So let's talk about the financial reward of this. Now, please understand, I don't do this basic type of detox, meaning that what I do with the patient is I go full bore, no stone left unturned. I mean, I do beyond this, but let's just say that you're taking it from, you see neuropathy patients, knee pain patients, hip patients, hip pain, back pain, neck pain, whatever. Okay. All right. So when a patient comes into my clinic, we're going to do the 10-week detox, Cyrex array number 2. We're going to do a Chem 77 blood test. We're going to do, I'm sorry, I told you wrong. It's Cyrex array number 2 is it, but let me back up. We're going to do the 10-week detox. We're going to do the enterolab panel A2, which I just went over. But we're also going to do a Chem 77 blood test. We're going to do a Cyrex array number 2, which is leaky gut, and then Chem's Cyrex array number 5, which is a 24 tissue antibody test. So we take all of that and put that whole picture together, because remember, every patient, whether you want to believe this or not, or whether you want to stick your head in the sand or not, but every chronically ill patient that comes into your clinic, they're coming in with a multivariant problem. Multivariant, which means there's multiple reasons why this system is failing. And if all you're doing is stimulating a patient, you're completely messing the boat here. Okay. And again, this is what frustrates the shit out of me with chiropractors is you still got these doctors that's out there popping and praying, and there's no reason to have to do that anymore. I mean, I'm living proof of this because, I see people from 17 different states, and these people come in chronically effed up. And I mean, from head to freaking toe. And I don't even know how many testimonials of patients. And I'm talking at least 40 that are on TV that give me testimonials after testimonial about the life-changing experience that they literally have in my clinic. So let's go to the financial reward of this. So of course the patient's going to get their life back, but the point is with a 10-week detox, all right, what I do when I go over this with a patient, if you want to itemize it, I just go through the whole metabolic program and tell them it's 5907. But here you're not going that extreme. So this 10-week detox is $1,877. So let's just look at the financial reward on this. Your investment in this, what you have to pay out of pocket to get the supplements, is in the neighborhood of $375 for this 10-week detox. All right, so I've got my trusted calculator here because I don't exactly remember what. All right, so that's 1502. All right, now remember, we're going to recommend this to every chronically ill patient that comes into the clinic. All right, and then the enterolab, the cost on that is $400, and I think they charge $25 for shipping. That changed as of recently. So what I do is I charge $895 for that, okay? And then we're going to subtract the 425. So let's see what that is. 895 subtracted by 425, and that's $470. All right. And then what we're going to do, 470. And to interpret this blood work here, what we're going to do is we're going to charge 197 for that. Okay. So let's just look at this. All right. So this is just one patient that came in with chronic knee pain, and our communication skills are to the point to where, and your understanding of physiology and neurology only makes sense that it's like, look, this is the bare freaking minimum this person needs to actually maximize their recovery. All right. So 1502 plus, this is our net. Okay. Well, I can't punch in numbers at the end of the day. Thank goodness I don't have to punch in numbers for 11 CPA. I'd be in trouble. All right. So see, you're going to net with this one patient right here. You're going to net $2,169 just by saying this is my best recommendation, because people are going to follow your lead. Now this is what I was at a seminar here, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. And most chronically ill people, when they, now listen to this word here, and this offends you and pisses you off, then get your freaking head straight. But they said whenever a patient goes to a reputable doctor with chronic health problems, okay, they are expecting to pay between $12,000 and $15,000 to solve that. So I want you to let that sink in for just a second. When a person goes to a reputable doctor with chronic health problems, they're expected to pay, they already have a preconceived idea that this is going to be between $12,000 and $15,000. And then I'm going to ask you, what are you charging? Okay. And so see, if you're not in that $12,000 to $15,000 range, you don't even see yourself as representative of this respectful community that I'm in. All right. Because I mean, hell, my lowest case fee is $9,961, and it goes all the way up to $36,000. And yet, you know, you would think I would have chiropractors beating the damn door to my clinic on my seminars to see how I'm doing this, but you know, it's just not the case. I mean, human beings are human beings, and they sit around and bitch about their problem. But when you have somebody that literally leads them and shows them the way, people still just want to bitch about their problem. This is why I told you earlier. This is why I don't worry about who comes to my seminars, because people are people. All I do is focus on Andy Barlow and make sure that he studies neurology, metabolic care, and communication, so that I can focus on the people that come into my clinic and I can change their life. So I see so many patients, and I have so many new patients that come in. I don't worry whether one person does care, because I know the next one will, or if that one doesn't, then the next one will, because my communications skills and my being able to tell patients what's wrong with them and how to change their life, people want to do this. So let's look at this. $2,169. All right. So let's just say, like for me, I work basically 50 weeks out of the year. And when doctors that I trained would say, you don't work much at all, which is the point. The name of the book is Think and Grow Rich, not Work and Grow Rich. Think about that for just a second. So we're going to take this number right here, and we're going to have one person a week that's going to do this program. So we're going to multiply this times 50. I mean, this is what I'm saying. I'm not giving you some kind of pie in the sky, some kind of crazy ass number here. These are doable that you can have. You recommend this to every new patient, and this is going to be your net here. I mean, this is $108,000 net. Okay, that's just asking, and you get one person a week, not a month, okay, but a week to choose this. And just think about this: the average chiropractor nets $77,000 a year, and I just showed you how to blow that out of the damn water. All right. And let's just say, for example, you do this, and lo and behold, you actually have instead of having 2 people a week do this, one person. Let's say we have 2 people a week. Well, that math there is pretty easy. All right. I mean, who in the world wouldn't want to do this? I mean, shit, that puts you at better than just doing that right there puts you at better than the top 10% of income earners in America. Well, with inflation now, who the frick knows? But I'm just letting you know the way it used to be. But my point is, whatever you're making right now is, see, this is why I couldn't put on there, let me show you how to make $216,900 without buying any equipment, because nobody would believe that shit. Okay. And so, but I'm showing you how to do it, and I don't even do case fees that low. Okay, I wouldn't even insult somebody by offering them that fee. But the point is, you have to start somewhere, and see if you want to serve patients at a higher level, and you're going to have to start recommending these types of metabolic care. And see, here's the beautiful thing about, I got 10 minutes left. All right. The beautiful thing about this is you don't have to have a phlebotomist. You don't have to refer people out. You can do all of this in your clinic. Your staff, my staff, will teach your staff how to do this. Okay. Now, I'm just telling you right now, don't call my staff up tomorrow and say, hey, show me how to do the 10-week detox, because you won't do it, because you got to come to my seminars for me to show you how to do it. What I'm doing is I'm letting you know the financial gain that you can make. Look at this. $216,900 net in 1 year. I guarantee you, back when DRX, by the time you bought a DRX, you did all that crazy ass marketing. By the time the smoke cleared, I guarantee you nobody cleared, or very few people cleared that kind of money just by doing the decompression. And I'm showing you how to do this with patients. You don't have to buy any new equipment. All you have to do is just say, this is my best recommendation that we do metabolic care. Why? Because it's going to help your brain, it's going to help your gut, it's going to help your body. And then we need to do the Interolab test, because we need to find out if you have a gluten sensitivity. And what I want you to do is you need to look at gluten sensitivity is directly linked to every neurological disorder that a human being has. All right. And the reason for this is gluten, whether you like to hear this or not, is causing inflammation in your body. And inflammation in your body activates glial cells. And glial cells, what they do, instead of actually pruning and cleaning up neurons, they actually damage neurons. It's called priming. That's called glial cell priming. And then what this does, this activates what we talked about last week, your amyloid tau proteins, amyloid proteins, and alpha-synuclein proteins, which lead to Lewy bodies, just because of inflammation. So I'm showing you a simple, easy way, and it's only simple and it's only easy if you do it. And trust me when I tell you this, I don't even do cases like this that's that simple. All right. So, but again, I've got to take you step by step, and here's how you do this. And I would think that the financial reward here, I mean, Randall can probably back me up, because he sees a lot of people outside the healthcare field. But man, I mean, some people would kill just to go, you mean to tell me I don't have to do shit except just offer this, and if 2 people a year do this program, I will net 216,000. Only a stupid ass chiropractor would sit here and go, I wouldn't do that. Only in the chiropractic profession would they sit there and say, I wouldn't want to learn this. But yet, you know, that's our profession. I don't know what to say. So, all right. So I've shown you how to do this. I've set it up where the 10-week detox, we're going to do this by decreasing inflammation. When we get inflammation in our body, we get inflammation in our brain. When we get inflammation in our brain, this is going to cause focus, attention, and concentration. It's going to cause anxiety, depression, and insomnia. And Mr. Smith, just remind me which one of these you have. The more you have, the worse your brain is. And then this is going to improve your body function, because it's going to decrease inflammation. It's going to help improve gut function. And once you realize and understand that 70% of your immune system's in your gut, and by the way, we hadn't even talked about leaky gut, and 80 to 90% of people that have chronic health problems, well, actually 89% of people, period, have a leaky gut. So that's causing causing most or nearly all of their health problems, and yet nobody's even addressing that. And this 10-week detox is going to help address their leaky gut. We actually run a Cyrex ray number 2 to see if they have a leaky gut. And I had another patient last week that her gut was so jacked up, she had to do a 30-week detox. So imagine if this patient came into your office with neuropathy and balance disorders and vertigo, and you're trying to stimulate that system. I mean, and the level of autoimmune disorder that this woman has, and the inflammation in her body. And so anyway, so the thing is that you're trying to guess your way out of this. And if you actually did the blood work, which we would talk about at my seminar, we don't have to guess our way anymore. This is a multivariate problem. And we're going to do blood work, a neurological exam, 10-week detox, do gluten, celiac, and a malabsorption test through Interolab to find out if you have that. And if we do, then we have to address it. Okay. So 10-week detox, Interolab, panel A2. All you have to do is go to interolab.com and just register. Get it done, okay? And then I'll just go over it with you. They're going to send you 2 Q-tips, look like Q-tips, are about this long. You're going to swab your cheek for 30 seconds. And you're going to put each one of those, there's 2 Q-tips, you're going to put each one back in an envelope. And maybe they changed a little bit, but when I did it 15 years ago, this is the way we did it. And put it in an envelope. So check for gluten and celiac gene. And then they're going to give you a little plastic bucket with a little rim around it. And you put that on your toilet and you take a dump. Okay. I don't know, bowel movement, whatever. And you freeze it and then you send that off and then they get the results back in 2 weeks. And it tells you whether you have a gluten gene, celiac gene, whether the gene's been turned on. It tells you if you have malabsorption issues, if you have antibodies toward milk, if you have antibodies toward eggs, or if you have antibodies toward soy. So, and then if we do, we have to eliminate those types of foods from our diet. And if you don't like that, then don't play at this level, because again, patients are following your lead. And if you say don't do this because your lab results came back that states that when you eat gluten, it's destroying your brain, your nervous system, and your joints, then some people will eat it, but the majority of them are going to go, I paid all of this money and I'm literally going to do whatever you tell me to do. All right. So my next seminar is, I think, July the 15th, 16th, and 17th. That's going to be in Tupelo, Mississippi. So if you're interested, you need to get signed up for that seminar. I do have about 4 minutes and I'm going to open up the floor for any questions anybody has. I will be off next week because I'm going to be going on vacation, but I've literally rolled out the red carpet for you right here to increase your income over $200,000 by doing one thing, and that is recommending this metabolic program, this modified metabolic program to your patients. It requires you to buy no new equipment. It doesn't require you to have a medical doctor on staff, phlebotomist, nothing. You just have to recommend this with your best recommendation. And if you close 2 people a week, that's your net income. So open up the floors for any questions.
Hey, Dr. Barlow, this Randall. Yep. Hey, I want to let everybody know that I uploaded in the chat, if they didn't notice it, Interolab's website, Apex Energetics. I put the link to where they can download what you order from Apex, the actual your 10-week detox. It's all there in the chat box, and also even included a spreadsheet that we had made for them that they can punch in their own numbers. They see what you charge and then punch in their numbers, and it'll give them the full amount for both the blood and the detox. So it's all in the chat there.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. Now, at this next seminar at level 1, the doctor that's coming to this seminar, I'm going to ask that you bring multicolored pens, plenty of notebook paper. Also, you're going to have to bring a tuning fork. You're going to need to bring a reflex hammer. Let's see, what else are you going to have? Anyway, when you call the clinic or call them up to set that up, we can tell you what all you need to do. But we're actually going to engage in starting the neurological exam with patients. So my seminars have been modified quite a bit. What I'm going to do is start right out of the gate with headspace this time, like I always do. And because there's a lot of detoxing that has to go on in the chiropractic profession. And see, like with the detoxing right here, I'm showing you the way, but some of the people that's actually listening here tonight probably don't even think they're good enough to even charge that kind of fee. Okay. And see, you've got to get your brain detox. You got to realize that you're capable and people are willing to pay this if you ask for it. People want their life changed. How do I know this? Because I do this every day. Okay. And again, my program that I have just for the metabolic care is 5907. And I'm going to show you how to set that up at my level 1 seminar. I'm also going to go through my Alzheimer's workshop seminar that I do, so I can give people and say, if you stay through this program all the way to the end, I'm going to teach you how to actually set these workshops up and actually close people at the seminars, and they want to come in and seek you out for care for early onset Parkinsonism, dementia, and Alzheimer's. But we got to get to these people early before they get into stage 5. And then when you come back for Level 2, that's going to be a lot of new information. Level 3 is going to be onslaught of Alzheimer's and autoimmunity. And then level 4 is going to be, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Level 3 is Parkinson's and autoimmunity. And then stage 4 is going to be Alzheimer's and thyroid. So we've changed everything up, even from the last seminar that I've given, which we did level 4 last like 2 weeks ago, and I've already changed the format of what we're doing there and what we're adding to it.